Hello guys, Jacob from Team The New Matrix here with another deck profile of my Narukami deck, The Blood. Really fun deck to play, really aggressive, really devastating for opponents if you get to use your limit break or ultimate break 2 times or even once. You don't even need it sometimes. Really good deck. So to get started, we have the starter. Spark Kid Dragoon, really good card, with 3 searcher, top 5, just to get you grid 3s and try to get your cards out there and in the hand, so you have the opportunity to cross ride early, or just to have, or even to get more attackers out. That's the only problem I see with this deck. The attackers that you not always have full field, or that you sometimes get great sack, but that's all decks have that problem, so not much to do. Over to the triggers. We run 4 heal triggers, not much to say. Then we run 6 draws and 6 criticals. Because of the aggressiveness of the nature of the deck, you don't really need so much critical triggers, and that's why we run more draw triggers. And with the draw triggers you get more hand advantage, and hand is something you really need in this deck, because you don't have so much draw power. You don't have any draw power really this deck, so you need it through the triggers. So yeah, not much more to say. Then we run 4 AK beaters. Good to have. Can easily get to make 20k columns or 18k columns with many cards, even 19k columns with great 3s. Good card to have. Makes attacking rear guards or vanguard really easy. So yeah, good card to have. Then we run 4. This is gonna Ryan. Really good card, 7k attacker, good effect when he calls out to rear guard or vanguard. You can choose opponent's rear guard, and that card cannot intercept this turn. Really good card if you say you play a Sheriff Paladin and they call out the main on the field and they want to intercept next turn with it. Call this one, say your main cannot intercept and it's stuck, and he has a shitty column next turn too. So that's good. So either he don't need to retire it to call a new one, or he just will deal with it for the moment. So good card, easily make 18 and 19k columns with Grid 2 and Plasma, and even 70 with the Grid 3s, and that's all you need against Malice the Lord or usual 11k. Then we run 1 Racing Phoenix, just because you don't have so much soul to deal with, so you can only do it at one time, and the 5k is not so good, so you just only run 1, and if you get it, it's just a plus, but you won't see it every game. Then we run 2 Photon Bomber Wyvern, the 10k beater of the deck, if your opponent is at 3 damage or more, so that's really good. Easily pushes over 21 or 23 with Vermilion and Vermilion the Blood, so you can easily hit other cross rides, so that's really good. You get really much pressure with this card behind Vanguard. Then you have 4 perfect cards, because you need it. The blood, like I said, you don't have so much hand in this deck, so you need to read the perfect cards for the big attacks when they come, because you won't have enough triggers in the hand to guard them, so you need to throw away maybe a Vermilion or the blood so that you may have get through Spark Grid effect, just to have, so you can use this effect. So that's really necessary. Yeah. Over to the Great 2s. We run 3 Thunderstorm, 10 game beater. The 10 game beater is good, but you don't. That's a second most important ride as at grade 2, because we have one more important, because you need counter blasts in this deck. Yeah. Over to the others, we run 4 Dusty Plasma Dragon, 10k beater, 12k beater if you have a million as Vanguard. Yeah, not much to say. Really good card, easily hit over 20 with 18ks, 8ks, and yeah, 19 with 7ks. So good numbers. Then we run 4 Garudas, 9k. Your preferable ride at grade 2, because to get onto you use the Spark Grid to get the runes effects to flip a damage, then you attack with this, and the opponent will most likely let it hit, and you get to unflip the damage again. So preferable ride at grade 2. Really good if you get it in late game to after you use the Vermilion's effect, so you can use the Vermilion Thunderbolt or the Ultimate Break once more. That just devastates opponents so much. Then over to grade 3s, we run 4 usual Vermilions. You really want to ride this first, because the Ultimate Break of the Blood is really good, but the problem is you must have 5 damage to do it. If you don't have 5 damage, you can't use it, and then it's much more viable to use the Limit Break 4 of Vermilion, because the only difference between them is the 3 extra Ks and 1 critical, and most of the time the opponent will Perfect Guard this attack, even if it's just Vermilion. So yeah, it's often better to use this first, this Limit Break first, then cross ride, because it's really hard to get to 5 damage without dying, and because you don't, if you're at 4 damage, you don't want the opponent's Vanguard to hit, just to get the Ultimate Break and when you ride the Blood. So it's just use it when you can, but don't use it too fast. You must have the right opportunity to use it. Yeah, that's the key with the Narukami deck. You must have the right timing when you use your skills. Then we run 3 the Blood. Really good card. The Ultimate Break is just so good when you get it off, because it just devastates your opponent. If you have the Vermilion Evening Soul and you have Photon Bomber behind it and use Ultimate, you hit for 28 on all front row with 2 criticals. That just devastates the opponent. Really hard to guard against if you don't have perfect guards, or you will lose at least 3 cards in hand. Like I said, devastates, but the Ultimate Break, you don't get it off so often. It's better to use the normal Vermilion's effect. Yeah, but really good card, wins games if you get it off, and your opponents don't have perfect guards. So yeah, really good deck overall, really fun to play, aggressive as hell. Yeah, just fun to play. Yep, see ya.